Hello, this is Alex from phpacademy.org and welcome to another video tutorial for the new Boston. Now I'm going to be talking about PHP die and exit, and these are two really useful functions that you should get used to using in your program so you can cut the script at any point where you may receive a fatal error in which you don't want to execute any more code. Now let me just demonstrate how this works. Let's say I want to echo out hello and a space, and down here I want to echo out a space and world. Now if we were to run this normally, we refresh our browser, you can see it will just produce the result hello world because we've included hello with a space and we've included world. Now let me just use the die feature in here. What this is going to do is from this point onwards is going to kill the rest of the page. Okay, so let's have a look at the result in the browser. Okay, so we're just receiving the string hello. Now, why is this useful? I mean, bear in mind you can also use exit as well. This does exactly the same thing. If we refresh, we're getting the same result. Now, why would we want to kill our script in the middle of a page? I mean, first of all, using die and exit are exactly the same thing. Bear in mind you can also, part of this function, you can specify an error in here, so you can use some string to output. So error, page has ended, for example. Let's just echo again the world part of this page. So if we refresh, you can see that we've received this message. So you can do that if you want, and you can do exactly the same thing with exit as well. There we go, same thing. So how do we use this in a real life example and why is it useful? Okay, so without overcomplicating things, I'm going to attempt now to connect to a database. Now, whether you've come across databases yet or not, this is an example to show you how die or exit can be used. Now, to connect to a MySQL database, we use the MySQL connect function, and we supply it with three. I mean, we've looked at functions anyway, so that you should really understand this at this point anyway. So I'm connecting to localhost. My username is Alex, and I don't specify a password because I'm running on a local server. So what do I do if this is wrong? Now at the moment, if I refresh the page, nothing. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay, sorry. My username is root, so I've already produced myself an error. So if I refresh there, okay, so that's connected absolutely fine. So we know that that's connected because we've not received an error. That might not necessarily be the case, but I know that my username is root, my password is blank, and I'm connecting to my local server. So what happens if we want to specify our own error if this hasn't connected? So for example, or die could not connect to database. What I've essentially done here is used or, so it's a logical operator. We've said or. We can also say or like this. So or die, if this is unsuccessful, we want to die and produce this error to the page. So at the moment nothing's happening, so I can echo down here connected, and I refresh and I receive the error, the message connected. Now what if I change this around? So I want to connect to in fact, let's just change this back to Alex because I know that's not my username. Now when I refresh, you can see that we've killed the page. This has produced an error, and we've specified our own error as well. Now what if we want to get rid of this error and we just want to display this error? We've already displayed our user friendly. We just pop an at before. Just pop an at beforehand. Now when we refresh, we basically are just left with could not connect to database. So this is essentially a user-friendly way of connecting to the database or killing the page obviously we're not now outputting connected, killing the page and saying could not connect to database. So that's essentially what we've done. Like I said before, you can replace that with the double vertical lines and it will do exactly the same job. We're just using logical operators there, which we've already covered. So you've now seen a real life example of where you can use die. Obviously this can also be exit, so if we refresh the page it does exactly the same thing, could not connect to database. So that is basically the die and exit functions within PHP and how useful they can actually be.